Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new author celebration with She Rises Studios. My name is Ella, and I am so excited you're here for this joyful, magical, and absolutely not boring moment because we are celebrating the best selling children's book, Olivia's Not So Boring Day, by the talented Jodi Nelson. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And this delightful story follows Olivia, a girl who cures her boredom with, let's say, little help from her fairy godmother in training, of course.
Yes.
But let's just say the magic doesn't always go exactly as planned. It is full of
No.
surprises, yeah, no, laughter, and
Yes.
lessons. And today we're going behind the scenes with the author herself to hear how it all came to life.
Okay.
So,
Well, the
go
the way
ahead.
it started, I was watching my two grandchildren. I only had two at the time. Now I have five, but I had two grandchildren. I was watching them, and they were bored. They couldn't go outside. It was kind of a yucky day, and they love books. So I sat down and wrote them a book. I've written things before poetry for them and things like that. And they've always enjoyed it. So I wrote them a book and I did my own little scribbly pictures in it and read it to them. And they loved it and wanted to read it over and over again. So as they got older, they got not as interested, but then I had other grandchildren. So I adjusted the story, changed it around a little bit to suit the other grandchildren because the original ones I wrote it for were a girl and a boy. The other grandchildren were two girls. So I changed the story around for them and changed it to be a mom instead of a dad because at the time when I had my first two grandchildren, they had a single dad. Then my daughter was a single mom. So I changed the story around and it evolved every time I told it to a different child or whatever. I changed it up to suit the child. And then now all the grandchildren are older and not so much interested. And my husband kept saying, you should see if you can get that published. So I would look into it, never really saw anything. And then She Rises came along. I saw an advertisement for it, jumped on it, and here we are today. So pretty exciting. To see
Yes, it
it in
is.
print is really exciting.
Yes, it is, and it's amazing that you shared that story. I'm always curious about the story that goes behind the books for children
Hmm.
because they're always like they have this touch, and
Yeah.
it's nice to hear that story.
It
And
was
now,
based on those two children, but then throughout the book, I have pictures of all five grandchildren on the walls and on the shelves and stuff. There's a little blurred out, but those are pictures of all five grandkids just as a little nod to them.
yeah, that's really amazing. And now I want to ask you about the character Olivia because her adventures take some hilariously unexpected turns. So I'm
Yes.
curious if you have any favorite scenes to write or ones that made you laugh while drafting.
My favorite scene is when Olivia goes into the kitchen and sees that her grandma is making hamburgers or tacos. She's okay with tacos, but she'd really rather have hamburgers. So she tries to cast a spell to make the tacos into hamburgers, and suddenly there's a live cow on the kitchen counter. And I don't know, that one just kind of, stuck out at me, kind of thought it was funny the way, not hamburgers, a live
Yeah, no,
cow.
it sure was. And now that you mentioned that magical element, how did you dream up her character? Why include that magical element?
I really couldn't tell you how the magical part came into it. It was just my granddaughter likes to dress up. She'll like put on little cute little princess outfits and stuff. And so it kind of made me think of, oh, the little girls dress up and fairies and stuff like that. So that's how that came about. It because it was based on my granddaughter was Olivia, and the little boy was based on her little brother. And so it just came about that way.
Yeah, it sounds almost natural. That's
Yes.
really interesting.
Yeah.
And
Kids love stories about fairies and magic
yeah,
and things like that. So that's how that came
yeah,
about.
Exactly. That was actually part of my next question to you because I wanted to say that kids love books they can imagine themselves in. So, what do you hope young readers and their grown ups take away from this magical day with Olivia?
Just that little kids, everyone who has small children knows that they get bored and they want something to entertain them. And Olivia just kind of doesn't go and ask her grandma to entertain her. A lot of kids sometimes are asking their parents or their grandparents, do something with me. Olivia goes and finds something herself to do. And though it doesn't quite turn out the way she expects it to, it's still a cute little story of how she entertains herself, finds a way to entertain herself.
That's really interesting. And before we continue, I want to take a moment to cheer for this incredible achievement because Olivia's Not So Boring Day has officially become a bestseller in 7 different Amazon categories. We have 7 different.
Wow.
And
that's
those
just,
include,
that's
Mhm.
so amazing.
Yes, it is. And those includes children's books on values, sword and sorcery fantasy, children's folk tales and myths, and even top 15 in new releases for multiple genres. So
Wow.
huge congratulations, Jodi. What
Thank
an
you.
amazing start.
Yes. And all thanks to you guys for helping me out.
How does it feel to know that a lot of young readers are enjoying your book?
It's so cool to see it come into print because I've shared it with so many friends and family and seen the joy in children when they see the magic happen. And so it's just kind of, it's really humbling, but at the same time really exciting to see it become a reality, an actual real book, not just on paper or you know not just a little bunch of typed up, folded stapled together pieces of paper with drawings on it. So it's pretty
Yes,
cool.
and how do you hope to keep inspiring these young minds?
Just that there's magic. There's always magic around you. You can make any day into a magical day. Just use your imagination and go from there.
That's amazing, and I think that you can take that from the book 100%. You know that magic is out there, and it feels good to have a book like that.
Yeah, it does. And it's just fun to see children, experiencing life and using their imagination, and that's what Olivia does. She kind of uses her imagination to say, "Oh, I want to see something different happen." And may not work out the way she wants, but I think it's a cute story and I've seen
Yeah,
children enjoy it. So,
yes, it is. And now, just to wrap up, I want to play this mini game that we have. So I am going to ask you some questions, and you reply with the first thing that comes to your mind. So are you
uh-oh.
ready?
Okay.
Okay, so I want to ask you, what is your favorite magical creature, real or imagined?
Um Dragons.
Okay, great. And what would you do if you had a wand for one day?
Oh boy. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That would be pretty fun. Just cast spells left and right.
Yeah, I think it's not a simple
Just,
question, actually.
no, not really. But you know what? I would have it cook my dinner for me, so I didn't have to do it myself.
Yeah, and to save a lot of time.
Yes, making a
Okay,
nice,
that's great.
elaborate, pretty setup.
Yes, that's amazing. Would you do tacos?
No, I don't know.
Ok-
I wouldn't do tacos though. Maybe curry.
and and now that we talk about food, what's your go-to snack while writing?
Chocolate,
Oh, that's
just
great.
dark chocolate.
That's so great. And lastly, your favorite children's book from your own childhood?
It was a book called Ghosts, and it was about two children that moved into a house that had a ghost living in it, and they became friends with the ghost.
Okay, that sounds really good. So, Judy, thank you so much for sharing this story, for sharing your joy and your imagination with us today. Olivia's Not So Boring Day is such a thread full of heart, laughter, and a little bit of chaos, just like the best kind of magic.
Yes, and just like a day in any home with little children in
Yes. So thank you so much. For everyone watching, this best-selling adventure is available now on Amazon. So go grab your copy and bring a little magic into your day. And now, until next time, keep celebrating stories, stay curious, and thank you so much for joining us at She
it.
Rises
Thank you.
Studios. And it was a pleasure to have you here, Jodi.
Thank you. It was a
Thank you. I
pleasure
wish
for
you all
me.
a great day. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.